Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Erica if you're new to my channel. I'm currently pregnant with our second little boy. He is going to be here really soon, and we have had quite the time trying to name this little boy. When we had our son Charles, we had his name picked out like before we were even married. So when we found out we were having another little boy, we were a little bit nervous because we were so in love with Charles' name that we wanted to make sure that we loved this little baby's name as much or more, I don't know, I guess equally as much. So we have looked through probably every list online. We've made quite the list of names that we like but don't love enough to choose as our baby's name. And we actually haven't settled on one name. We're sort of in between two. So I'm going to leave both of them off of the list that I'm going to share with you guys today. But I'm going to share all the other names with you. There are 11 total. But yeah, I'm just going to jump right into the names because there are a lot of them. And I don't want to make this video too long. So the first name that we love, but we have decided not to use strictly because it starts with a C, and I don't want to have another little boy with a name that starts with a C because my husband's name is Connor and then our son's name is Charles, and I already get them confused, so I can't imagine adding another little boy into the mix that has a C name. But the name is Colt, and I just love that name. I think it's super tough, and it just sounds like a little like football player. I don't know, but I love the name Colt. If it didn't start with a C, or if we hadn't named our son Charles, I would definitely try to convince my husband to name our son that. The next name is Rhett, and this was actually the name that was sort of like the leading name, I guess. We really thought we were going to name this little boy Brett, but we decided not to. I don't really know why we decided not to, but we have two other names that we like better than it right now, so we decided not to use Brett. The next name is a name that I love, but my husband is not crazy about. It's Beckett. I think it is such a cool name. I don't really know anyone named Beckett, and I really like the name for a little boy. My husband says that it sounds like an old general, and he like really doesn't like the name, so that was out sort of from the beginning. The next name, actually the next three names my husband doesn't like, but I love. I think that I am much more open-minded when it comes to baby names than he is, in my opinion, but that's okay. The next name is Decker, like Eric Decker. I think it's a really cool name. My husband doesn't hate that name, but he didn't want to name our little boy that, so we decided not to, obviously. The next two names are super cool, like Southern tough boy names. Ford and Nash. I love the name Nash. I think it's such a cool little boy name. My husband doesn't love it. A lot of our family didn't like it, but I still love it. And I think Ford is a really cute name too. We would spell it F-O-R-D, but my husband doesn't like it, so it's out anyways. The next name is actually the name that my husband was going to be named before he was born. They had decided on naming him Parker, and then once he was born, they decided that he didn't look like a Parker, and they went with the name Connor. But I really like that name for a boy or a girl. Before we knew the gender of this baby, we talked about naming a little girl Parker. But we decided not to use the name. So it's still on the list, but it's not one that we have decided to go with. And then the next name is one of the more unique names on our list of boy names. And it's actually a name that we heard while we were in Africa. We went on an African safari, and one of our rangers' name was Roan, R-O-A-N, and I thought it was a really cool name. My husband really loves the name, but we decided not to go with it, but I still think it's a really cool name. The next name is Hudson, which is a little bit more common than we wanted to go with, but I still really think that it's a cute little boy name. And then 2 more names. The first is Rhett, which is kind of like Brett, which is the name that we were originally going to go with for this boy. But I like Rhett too, like Thomas Rhett, if you're a country music fan. I like the name, but we decided not to go with it. And then the last one is Trip. I really like this name, but our last name starts with a T, so we didn't want to do like a T first name and last name for some reason. I don't know why, that just didn't really sound appealing to us. So that is our list of boy names that we love, but we have decided not to use. Definitely stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't already so that you can learn the name of our little boy when he makes his debut in a few weeks. And like the video if you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.